come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out, die with my own doubts. Be free with me. Let's be free Not looking back, eyes on the freeway, Bonnie and Clyde, a classic cliche. We're on the run, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out, die with my own doubts.
Hi everyone, good morning, good morning. For those of you on this side of the continent or country, globe, whatever, my coffee has not kicked in yet and I'm ready for another one. Hope you all are having a fun start to your day. And those of you joining from the other side of the world, it should be evening now, but it's good to see you all. Yeah, I am ready for another cup of coffee. I hope you were able to join Ardith and Erin and catch some fun there. And if you have any questions for me, I am Bethany and I have my presentation on foiling. Two different ways. This is the toner foiling, which if you have not had a chance to grab my freebie on the video, go ahead and make sure you get that freebie before it expires if you're on the free. Otherwise, if you're a VIP, doesn't matter. And then I have the hot foiling as well. And something I didn't realize, just fun story, something I didn't realize until after I had edited my video is that I actually technically put the foil upside down. It's supposed to be stringing foil, but I like how geometric it turned out. I see a question already from Kelly. It says, do you ever use cut dies to foil with? You know, I have not. I have seen people try it, but I have not been brave enough to try it myself. Yeah, that's just a technique I haven't played with quite yet. Maybe sometime soon, because I do a lot of foiling. Like you see how I have a cart behind me? That's just my paper cart. But in the closet behind me, it's a walk-in closet. It's lovely, but it also has an entire cart of just foil. Um, it's a lot of foil. I mean, I have boxes and bins of the foil. So there's a lot of different types of foils. There's toner foil, hot foil, and then there's actually a foil that I have that I don't actually know what it is. I got it from Goodwill actually. And someday I'm going to experiment and figure out what that kind of foil is because it wasn't toner and it wasn't hot. So someday I'll find out. Yeah, it's one of those like I was just in my creative zone when I did this. And for whatever reason, graphically, it just made sense to make it swooping instead of swishing. So yeah, fun story. And I also I'm very much a craft by the seat of your pants. And so like I just start throwing stuff places and I might not even remember where I started. And so when I'm crafting, I'm just in the zone and I forget what I'm doing. I also have 3 children that are 5, 4, and 3. And so I get a lot of interruptions too. So I might have had something in my head to start with, and that's not how it ended up with. So that's another thing too. Oh, so Melanie says she needs help with foiling. She bought the fuse, loads of toner, rolls of foil, nervous to get started. Okay. Oh, and I love the deco gel. Um that is actually really fun. A lot of my favorite cards have come or I've done the deco foiling with. And I think on my YouTube channel I have a plan in my head at least to do another foiling a deco foiling video soon. I believe I have at least one up there. But when it comes to foil, I just say go dive in. It's addictive. I had my glimmer machine, I think, for at least 2 months before I took it out of the box. And the first time I did it, it was actually on someone else's YouTube channel, just being blunt and honest. And if she hadn't asked me to do that, it probably would have sat in the box for another couple months. But seriously, after we were done with our live, I literally sat there for hours and hours and just like kept playing and kept playing because it was so much fun. Um, it's it's like it's a technique that is undersold, but it's really fun. I also, if you see the Cricut, it's kind of washed out from my lighting, but I also have done the first time I ever did foiling was with a Cricut machine, which is pressure foiling basically. And it it was really pretty, really fun. I even have that up on my YouTube channel. If you do have a Cricut or you're interested in trying to figure out foiling, I also have an SVG with that one, with that video that I created to try it. And it's really fun. Like just I mean, if you went and bought the supplies, just dive on in. That's what I say. I am all for just going in and yeah. So, if anyone else has questions. Oh, we have another one. Lisa, is it possible to foil with a laminator using stamping inks instead of a toner printer? Honestly, I have not tried that. Um, I would say, yeah, just experiment, try it, see what happens. I feel like personally, a lot of inks may not be able to keep enough that when the heat hits it, it won't absorb the glue off of the foil, possibly. But again, experiment. And if anything, worst case scenario, it turns out into like what I like to call hot mess express or a mixed media look. I love mixed media. Half the time I think I'm going to make something clean and simple. Like this is on the cleaner and simpler side for me. But what ends up is a little bit more hot mess express where, you know, there's some uneven on purpose, uneven blending and such. So, yeah. Melanie, just dive on in. Go for it. Which type of foiling do I like best? Oh God. Okay, the most addictive type of foiling, I would say, is the glimmer machine, just because there's a lot of different products that come up with really, really cute looks. Um, that's the most addictive. The easiest I would say is probably the laminator foiling. Um, just because you can put it through the laminator 3 or 4 times to feel really good about getting it adhered. Um, but the deco foiling, if you don't want to spend a lot and you just want to try and sample the deco foiling, as long as you're really good, and you have a nice flat scraper to help you create an even line with your stencil, the deco foiling is a great way to just start and try it. So, any more questions? Can any glue pen work for laminator foiling? Um, it I wouldn't say any, but if it has a similar mixture to, say, the deco foiling, or yeah, the deco gel, where it's a little bit thicker and can hold up to the heat, that's possible. Again, experiment. I can't guarantee it will work, but definitely something worth trying. Um, yeah, just experiment. I mean, why not? Crafting and creating is all about fun. Speaking of fun, question is, any fun events coming up? Well, I do not have a specific event, but I have a milestone. I hit 700 subbies on my YouTube channel, and that's exciting for me. So what I do is I'm doing a very big giveaway, and that shelf right here that I'm not pointing there, that shelf that I'm pointing to is jam packed full. It's a 13 by 13 shelf full of crafty giveaway goodies that I will be giving away. So if you go over to my YouTube channel, sign up. The last few videos should have the links to the giveaway, and we have lots of fun other things going on there too. So, I am a multi-entrepreneur, meaning I have a lot of businesses under my belt. One of them being a crafty business, of course. But my YouTube channel name, that's important to know, is BB Productions with an S Studio. So BB Productions Studio. It should be on my little name down there. Yeah, I can point. I can figure that out. So, someone asked how my littles are doing. They're great. Danny is in school. She's my 5-year-old, and Frankie and Ellie, I can hear them right outside the door waiting for me. That's my 4 and 3-year-old. Yeah, they can't wait for me to be done. Thank you for dropping the link. So yeah, go ahead and check it out. Subscribe if you would, please. I would love to have you join my crafty family. I actually aim to have them join me in crafting the other day, short stories, since I'm waiting for another question. I ran in on my 5-year-old. She had her little tablet, and she was making a little process art with some paper and cutting and drawing. And actually later today, I get to go to her first art show, which is exciting because she was selected out of her class. She was one of 3 students, I believe, in her class to be in an art show in K5. That's a big deal. So we get to go to that tonight. And yeah, so crafting apparently now runs in the family, artwork. I'm also a graphic designer, so a lot of my SVGs I make myself, or I borrow and adjust to my will how I want it to look. So let's see if there's any more questions. I know we're getting close to the end. What's my favorite craft to do? Oh gosh. Well, I have a heat press back there. That's for my sublimation and all my HTV. So my business, I do a lot of sublimation, which is also on my channel. I do a lot of the tower right there that I'm pointing at. That is actually all hair bows that I've made, and other faux leather crafting. So I do a lot of that with HTV, creating my own SVGs to design and use my Cricut with that. But honestly, my relaxation, my non-work stuff, even though occasionally I'll sell them, is card making. I love card making. Like, it's just my chill just do whatever, who cares if it ends up being a hot mess. And if it's a hot mess, then I'll just take it apart and use the pieces for other stuff. But I some of my favorite techniques I would say are alcohol inking. I believe, yep. So I do a lot of this where I just create these artworks, and then what I do is I digitize them and then turn them into graphic works that I'll put on a tumbler or put on a t-shirt or something like that. So when I say I do all of the things, I probably have done all of things, and I don't sit so well, so it's really fun. But yeah, alcohol inking is probably one of my favorite card techniques. It's, honestly, it's right up next to the foiling. Foiling just has more materials I got to set out. I have a whole cart that comes out. So, and then my space just becomes a hot mess for a minute. Whereas alcohol inking, I just have my glass mat and my little trays, and then I'm good to go. But it's a lot of fun. The other thing is, though, when my kids get into the alcohol inks, then their messy fingers get, all over other things. And so then I have to spend a day cleaning up after them. So I see Susan says, hi, Susan, by the way. She says she loves alcohol inks, but hasn't tried them. Loves the look, though. It's one of those, you can get cheap enough sets on Amazon, and even just using non-alcohol ink paper or mixed media paper. Like, I started experimenting with just random paper. I didn't even use alcohol ink specific paper right away, and I just went with it, and it was a lot of fun, and addicted. And now I have about 5 sets of alcohol inks, and if I find a good sale, I might get another kind because that's just what we do. Let's see, more questions. Do you enjoy one medium over another when card making? Ooh. Okay. So here's my default is A2 size cards. Gosh, that's a really tough one. I actually like alcohol ink markers. My favorite designs and my favorite results are, and of course I don't have one up, but my favorite ones just tend to be these alcohol ink designs because it marries the artist in me with the how can I translate the stamp or the die, or even sometimes using a stencil and doing it with that. Yeah, that's just one of those. It's so soothing to just do some alcohol ink markers, and brings out the sketching in me, and makes you have to think a little bit more. Now, I hate masking, so I don't do it as often as I want to, but if I had to pick a current favorite, that would be my favorite medium right now. Do I design blog websites for people? I have in the past. I do not currently. I don't keep up with my own blog, but I have considered it because there are a couple of clients who have come to me and said, "Hey, I need this for my website," and so I more likely will end up just teaching them how to do it because I do have a lot. Obviously, 4 businesses, 3 small children, a husband, my parents. There's 7 of us in this one house, so we have a lot going on. And actually, the desk right next to me, that's a little off screen, that is my mom's, and she is my crafty business co-owner, and she does sewing, and she has the laser machines, the diode laser, and she does I've actually taught her how to do a lot, and if she can't design it or can't find a design she likes, she has me make it. So I do a lot of graphic design on the fly for people who ask, and in fact I do plan on opening up my own print on demand shop in the next year. So I have lofty goals, and I also plan to do a lot of printables as well. So that's something that I have planned for my channels and my space, my website, coming up in the next year. So I have lofty goals, and we'll see where we go. And I've already started designing some of them. So some really cool papers or digital papers, so you can print your own at your own pace. So yeah. Any more quick questions? I think we're done. Almost done. Would the inks work on photo paper? The alcohol inks I have tried on photo paper, and I like the results, honestly. It takes a little bit more experimentation. The air blower, the little bulb air blower, seems to work better than the heat air blower. Even though I turn my heat air blower on cool, it still has a little bit of heat. But yeah, it's actually that's another technique for foiling, because I've put some of my foiling on undried alcohol inks, and it comes out really cool. You have to rub really hard sometimes, depending on how everything goes, but it's really fun to do. So that's another foiling technique that maybe sometime down the lines I'll share that. So thank you everyone for joining me. And don't forget to download my freebie and check out my YouTube channel and join the giveaway there. It's separate from this giveaway and freebies here. So thank you all, and I hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful day and happy making. Bye.